right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. First of all, I want to apologize for my delay in supplying materials to you guys. That's just my family is like we are moving. We don't know where we're gonna stay. We are trying to find our way around, even as we deal with this COVID-19 issue. So ana bana maga tan vovonta por ka hano mo do haba ba sa sere jivi data ana bana nyamata nami assignments allo lessons quickly, but I am sorry for that, and I hope that now I'm getting back to it and we'll get lessons quickly. I'm back to my desk. As you can see, my screen looks like normal as usual, so I'm not traveling today. I'm at home, so uh, so here we go. Agba Mia Strong with a form, and every website has some form. Like if you go to Facebook, you have to log in, right? You have to use your password and username and log in. Karuma, na the website do like register any kind of registration. There's a form. You have to have a form to put your information in it and register, and you have to have a form to log in and all that stuff. That Agbami has wrong with a form. The form is very important, so pay attention. So let me create a simple let me just say I don't know if this will let me create a simple HTML. Okay. All right, so HTML and closes HTML. All right, so we'll put a head here, and I'll just come here and finish head. I'll put a body here, and I'll come down and close body. All right, so this is just a simple HTML file, right? Let me save this so that we have let me put it in downloads and just do, I don't know which lesson is this, but maybe lesson 8.html. I'll just save this as a lesson 8. All right, so Fifia, we are in head. So inside head, I can say title, not title. Come on, I don't like this stuff. So title, I'll just say forms. Okay, so that's all I want to do right now. Okay, so now let's come here. So today we're going to learn about important thing about form. Okay, so let's just create a form. All you need to do is use a form element. So we'll say form. All right, so now we'll put some things inside our form. But now, what things can you put inside a form? The form. I mean, like when you go to your website, sometimes you have to select options, sometimes you have to input something. So let's look at the input type. So there is something called input. Okay, input, right? So I'll just say input. Okay, let me be a good programmer. Okay, so I can say, let's say we are trying to buy well, let's just say we want to register, okay, for something. So just for simple registration, we can say here, we'll say, so now we have check parameters of input. So input has something called type. So what type of inputs are we expecting here? So right now I want to put my first name, my last name, and my maybe password or email address. So I have to select the type of input I want to put inside this field. Okay, so we will say we want to put text in here, right? And let's just give it an ID. So remember all the IDs, so I'll just say first name. Okay, I'll say first name. Okay, and then I'll give it a name also, and I'll just say first name. Okay, all right, so that's our first input. Okay, So let me save this, and then let's go open this file in downloads lesson 8, and let me just open it with Chrome. Okay, yeah, let me use Chrome. Okay, so here in let me just take this one out. Okay, so here let me have a, like right now on our page, all we have on this page is I hope you guys can see what all we have on this page is this thing from a place to enter some text. Okay, I can say my name is Olashi, right? So that is my first name. But usually people do also do it this way. So let me show you. So some people will just first of all, in this form here, they will say, they will put here, they will just type first name. Okay, first name, and then you put a column here. So let's save this and then go back to our website and refresh. You see now it says first name. All right, first name here. All right. Then so let's now we see me create input field. So type text, right? So now if you can enter text. So any text you want to enter, you can enter. Make sure so you know that this text, when the user enter text there, it will show, the user can see but what they are entering, right? Just like your usual login pages. Okay, all right. So let's go back to here. So here what we are doing now is that here we are just creating wait, am I doing something wrong? Can you guys see what I'm doing? Let me just here, let me bring this into this work area. All right, good. So so now we can just enter, you know, let's BRL, and then we'll say another input. We create another input, right? And then type will be last name, right? And the name will be last name. I'm trying to make this fast. So for input, sometimes you don't even have to, you know, use the last input tag, but it's good practice to close, open and close. Okay, but if you leave it like this also, it will work fine. All right. So now we have, so this one we can say last name and do this, and then we can say, oh, because type is what, type is what, text, right? And we can also give it an ID. All right, let's give it an ID, and this ID will be last name. Okay, all right. So that is it. So let me have a browser. We refresh. Now we have two forms. Okay, we have first name and we have last name. All right. So let's learn something else. So now we know how to do a simple text. So there are different input types. So let's go straight to another input. So wait, let me actually make a list of all the inputs you can use. Okay, so that you can play with it and see how it works. Okay, let me just come here and say you can have input type button. You can have button, you can have checkbox, you can have color, you can have date, you can have date time dash local. That means this one will give you date and a time. That means you have to input a date followed by a time. We can have number, we can have password, we can have radio. Go and just see how these things work. We can have reset, we can have URL, we can have week or month, etc. Okay, but let's take a look at a few of them. So today let's do button, let's do password, let's do reset, let's also do select, not input type, yeah, oh, let's do email. Okay, let's do email. I think that, oh, and then let's do submit. we need to learn how to use submit. All right, so we'll learn this 5, okay, today, because we don't want our video to get too long, okay. So now yeah, so let's try to use all of this, okay. All right, so we have inputs, first name, we have last name. Let's use another input. This one will say email, okay, so that we will learn how to use email. And type is email. If we tap what? Email, exactly, okay. And I'll give it an ID. I'll say email, okay, and I'll name it also email. We'll learn how these things work, okay, why we are giving it name and ID. We'll learn all of that, but now we just want to learn how to use them. So let's get another BR, and let's use, so you have your email. Let's use let's do button, okay, let's do button. And input type we'll say button, and we'll name it button, okay. And we'll give it an ID button. Who is calling my phone? Oh, my wife is calling my phone. So I'm teaching the kids, so I have to you can wait on the line, or I can call you back, but we could stay on the line. Maybe you can help me too. All right, so now we have button, which is we have an input type, which is button. So let's do another input type, and this one is going to be what? Which one else? We want to use submit. Yes, let's use submit, okay. So there we go. So if we have a button, then what it will be on this button, we don't know yet. So let's learn how to do that. Let me give this one a name, and I'll just say submit. Okay, all right, let's see. Now let's go look at our website. Now we have, I don't know what this is, some button here. We didn't even give it any value, so you see that it's not even working. But we have a submit button, okay, and this is just my comment is showing, but just don't worry about it. This is not supposed to show. So usually what I will do is put this in a comment, right? I will put all of this inside a comment, right? All right, guys. So now, cancel. So now if I go here and I refresh, you don't see that anymore. So that's another use of comment right there. All right. So now so let me just put this one in. This one I'll just say this button, I'm gonna give it a value, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna call this one reset or clear. Let me just say clear. So I'll change this one from button to what? Reset. Remember we learned to use this reset. Okay, so now we know how to use button, we know how to use reset, we know how to use the submit. Okay, so let me save now, and let me refresh and see. So what the clear does is, the reset button does is, if I put something here, if I put my name Walasi here, and if I put my last name Nyaleke, right, and if I put my email at walasi@liwalsolutions.io, okay. All right, so if I have that, and I'm like, oh, let me clear this whole form, I can hit this button and it will clear everything for me, okay. I can enter some text again, I can enter something else again, and then I can hit submit. And see, now the reason why you have to be careful with the type is that it will check for HTML5. It will check if we are putting a real email. So here in the email field, you can't just enter anything and say, I'm done, let me submit. It has to be an email. So it has to be like something like I used before at, or maybe at gmail.com or whatever. It has to be a real email address. otherwise it will not work. All right, let's also look at password. Okay, let me add password. So now let's do, instead of input here, let's put let's do input here, and this time this one will be input and type is gonna be password. All right, I'm gonna just call this one pass. All right, so let me come here and give it a BR just to break the line and save. And so here I will say password, and then I will and then that's it. So let's go back there and see. So now we have a password field. Now the reason why you have to use this is because when you never add the password, it will not show. See if you start entering password, it will not show the text. Okay, but here, like in email, you can see the text, like last name and first name, you can see the text. But for password field, if you set the type to password, HTML will automatically hide the text. All right, you can click, you can submit. All right, so that is a quick introduction to forms. Go and play with all the other form types you can put in your form. Remember, you can use W3 Schools and learn about all about forms and everything and all the other types. Okay, here the types you can use. Okay, the types. Now we learn email, text, button, reset, and then submit. So in our next video, we will learn how to handle events. Okay, all right, take care and have a good one.